Hi everyone, it's Essie here with a process video for Lottie Loves Paper, and I'm going to be using the ephemera pack from the Vicki Boutin Field Notes range, which was part of the embellishment kit in September, and also a 12 by 12 patterned paper from the same collection, which was available as an add-on. I'm starting with a 12 by 12 sheet of watercolour cardstock, and I'm just creating a mixed media background with my distress oxides. I have a plan as to what I would like the background to look like. It doesn't work, but I keep going anyway, and I do use the background that I end up with, even though it isn't at all what I hoped it would be. I'm starting off with some spun sugar and abandoned coral distress oxides. Oh no, it's worn lipstick. Sorry, I've put down first of all spun sugar and worn lipstick for now. And I've just given that a blast with my heat gun. Just having a look at where my photograph is going to be positioned and adding a little bit more ink in the spun sugar. And a little bit more of the worn lipstick as well, just for a little bit of depth of colour, splattering that on. And I'm spritzing it with water to move the colour around. I wasn't happy with the splatters, so I've blended those in a bit more. So I've let that dry, and I'm going to use some Ranger Distress Resist Spray. Now, I've had a look at some YouTube videos. I've watched Tim Holtz demonstrate this, and had a really clear idea in my head as to what I wanted on this background. I wanted to use the resist spray through the stencil over the pale pink, and then layer some stronger colours over the top, so that I ended up with those pale hearts showing through with the stronger colours around, but resisting so that you could see those pale colours, the pale hearts. But that's not what happened. But anyway, I've just kept going with it, and I've left it all in and shown you my process so that you can see how I ended up with the layout, even though it wasn't what I started with. So I've let the resist spray dry, and I sponged it through my stencil with some of the distress blending foam. Maybe that's what I did wrong. Maybe I should have sprayed it, but it's quite liquid. It's really thin. And I was worried about it seeping under the stencil. I mean, the YouTube videos, Tim Holtz sprays it through his stencils, but I wasn't terribly confident about doing that. So, but maybe I should. So I'm adding some colours over the top. I've added fossilised amber, and now I'm going in with the abandoned coral, and you can see those heart shapes. You can see them coming through, particularly in the bottom right there. You can see them quite well at the moment, but the more colour I add, the less defined they get. And the top left-hand ones I'm not very happy with at all. So I end up covering them up, not being able to see them. They're not too bad there, and perhaps I should have stopped here. But because I kind of wanted a stronger colour around the heart so that there was more contrast. So I went in and continued adding the distress oxide, and the more ink I added, the more they disappeared, really. So if any of you have had successes with the distress resist spray, please comment and let me know. I will carry on experimenting and trying to find the best ways of using it. Because I've bought it, I want to get some results I'm happy with. Often with these things, it's a case of trial and error and finding out what works for you. So I'm going to keep doing that. But for now, I'm blasting this layout with my heat gun just to dry off some of that colour before I'm going in and adding some more of the fossilised amber. And this is the lovely thing about working on watercolour cardstock, is that you can just carry on adding colour and water and moving the colour around, drying it off in between without any worries about the cardstock breaking down or warping. And I just carry on adding layers of colour until I'm happy with the colour, really, because I kind of accepted the fact that I'm not going to get my resist heart effect that I wanted. So I'm now just adding some splatters of Heidi Swap ink spray in, I think it's raspberry, and I think that one might be butter. The splatters are dry, and I'm just trimming off about 1 centimetre from two edges, because I want to add a frame of the patterned paper. So just deciding between between the two patterned papers, and I think I'm going to go with the flowers. So obviously gutting as much from the middle of this beautiful piece of paper as I can to save as much to use on another layout. I could see some fussy cutting in my future with that beautiful paper. So I've got my frame, and I'm just going to add my background to it. I think some of my splatters maybe still have been a bit wet. Just toying with the idea. Oh, I decided that my double-sided tape was a bit too thick, so going in with my little tape runner and just sticking that down to my frame. So because I now haven't got the resist hearts that I had wanted, I wanted some hearts on my background somehow. So I decided to go in and add some stenciling. Di Wilcox, who's also on the Lottie Loves Paper design team, has got a lovely video showing how she added some shaded stenciling through this heart stencil. And so I'm afraid I've lifted that, Di, thank you very much, and added these beautiful hearts. This is the Vicki Boutin stencil, which was available as an add-on to buy from Lottie Loves Paper, and I'm just using the 3 colours of Distress Oxide in Spun Sugar, Worn Lipstick and Abandoned Coral to just add some hearts on my layout. And now that those are done, I'm going to start adding my photograph. So I'm not going to add any layers of paper. I'm just going to use the ephemera as detail around the photograph. This is my sister with one of her grandchildren, or these are both her grandchildren. So little girl, they're cousins. So baby's about 3 days old here, and his big cousin is having her first cuddle. And I love this saying with this photograph, because she's just looking so pleased with herself and so excited to be having first cuddle with baby cousin, and she has so got this, giving him a lovely cuddle, and he's still snoozing happily. So I really liked that saying. Adding some of the floral ephemera from the ephemera pack, popping in some of the green leaves just to add a contrasting colour, and also a couple of the white flowers as well, again just for a little bit of contrast. And there's also available with this month's kit were the puffy stickers from Vicki Boutin also, and I'm just picking out some of the hearts from that sticker sheet to add in just a little bit of black detail to tie in with the black lettering on that ephemera card, and then my Nuvo drops, of course, as always, to add some final details. I really hope you've enjoyed seeing my process. As I said, if you've had any success with the Distress Resist spray, please let me know in the comments, and I will keep trying and hope to see you here again soon. Bye!